When you keep your kids away from their grandparents, you ain't doing nothing but hurting those kids. Stop keeping your kids from their grandparents just because you mad at your mama or your daddy. That child didn't do anything to deserve being cut off from people who love them. You mad? Fine. Take space, set boundaries, get therapy. But your child still deserves a village. Do you know how much wisdom, how much love, how much support a grandparent can pour into a child? See, a lot of us, we was young when we had our kids, 19, 20, 21, and we didn't know it all, even though we thought we did. And a lot of us didn't have support of our parents. But if you have the chance to have your parents in your life to support you, well, honey, accept that opportunity. Some of y'all are out here raising your kids alone when your parents are right down the road, wanting to help out, wanting to support you, crying, praying for a chance to love on that baby. Your parents can give that baby something you can't, because remember this, you still learning how to be a parent. Your mama and daddy, they've been through it and they've made their mistakes. And when you know better, well, you do better. You take a child away from their grandparents and you're robbing them of stories of strength and safety. That's not just grandma or grandpa. That's their safe place, their soft landing, their roots. Don't take that away. This is not just about your healing. This is about that child's need for family. Stop punishing your kids because your pride won't let you go of the past. Some of y'all are waiting to the funeral to realize what your child is missing. And that's something beautiful, honey. Y'all have a good day. On purpose.
Oh, anyone out there find this video really triggering? She said so many true things. But she left out a word. Healthy grandparents, loving parents, grandparents, children, us all needing a village. Wow, I didn't expect, I've watched this video before, but it hit hard because she's very, pro-estranged parent. I imagine she is one. I don't know her backstory. And she's making it seem like, covering the sun with her thumb, like we're cutting out grandparents that know how to be grandparents, safe people, loving, kind, healthy people, set boundaries, as if we didn't try to do that, so many of us. I did. I tried to set boundaries. I asked my mother not to speak to me in certain ways in front of my children because I didn't want them to see the venom that she spewed towards me. I didn't want them to be confused that maybe that's what love looks like. I didn't ask her not to do it behind when they weren't around. I literally asked her not to do that in front of my children because I didn't think I was worthy of her speaking to me in a different way, in a way that would have love and kindness. I wanted her to be my village. I wanted her to be able to have a relationship with my children. She showed me a side of her with my daughter that I had never seen before. As time went on, it became apparent what she was doing. She was showing me that she could love my little girl because my little girl was lovable and I wasn't, which is something she did my whole life with other people's children. I just had never seen it in that way before. I asked her, please treat my children in a way that's equitable. Yes, they have different ages. They're not going to play with the same things. They may not eat the same foods. But if you're giving a big piece of cake to one of my children, her golden grandchild, and then you're giving a sliver to my son so that you can make sure that the golden grandchild sees that she's special, she was doing that in really pronounced ways. She'd buy toys for my eldest and then get something for my son that was age inappropriate. He wouldn't be able to play with it, or something that didn't fit. There was always a twist. She spoke to her husband, my daughter's step-grandfather, there were a few, in really nasty ways. Do you really think I wanted that kind of village? Like I wanted my daughter, my children, my son to see that that's how you treat other people? Like that that's acceptable? That that's, again, what love looks like? This woman is acting like we had options. Set a boundary. I set them and she stepped on them and she weaponized them. And when she knew something bothered me, she went in harder. She had a sneaky backdoor relationship with my eldest daughter, exposing her to movies and things behind my back that were so inappropriate, like Poltergeist being one. My daughter was under the age of 6. You know how I found out? She had a nightmare. I know, shocking. And she told me, well, Grandma told me not to tell you that we watched the movie together. And that's how I found out there were other movies and other things. Set a boundary. There's so much guilt in this. It's disgusting. I find her messaging to be vile because she's acting like any one of us who is an estranged adult child want to be adult orphans with no family support system. She's ignoring the fact that most of the time when we go no contact with one family member, everybody else turns their back on us. Their backs were already turned, but we don't know it at the time. We don't realize that we're going to lose everybody that we never had. We don't realize that we're part of a cult system and that they're going to cover their own tushies. Instead of standing with the victim, they stand with the victimizer. We don't know that. So when we go no contact with one person, maybe 2, maybe 3, I went no contact with 3, everybody else is gone. I had people that I thought would never leave. I thought my brother, he must know. He lived in the house with me. I didn't realize he had a different version of my mother. I was young. I was 22 when I went no contact. And I didn't go no contact to protect myself. I went specifically to protect my children. And the grandparents that she's talking about, the ones with the wisdom and the love to give and the advice and the history, I'll never know my own history. I don't even know what I look like as a baby because there's no pictures. My mother gave me a handful and that's all I got. I don't even remember how I got those particular pictures. I don't have access to ask about myself, about stories, about relatives. I've got none of that. And not because it isn't there, but because they refuse to give it. They refuse to be the kind of people to share that information. The history that they would share with my children would have been the one that shoved everything under the rug and scapegoated me because that was my position in the family. I've done one other video with this creator and I'm pretty sure it's going to be the last one. I just find her insufferable, intolerable. And yeah, I don't even have enough words. For all my estranged adult children out there, my kids are between the ages of 33 and 42 in August. I was 17 when I had my eldest. I have 2 teenage grandchildren. One is getting ready to go to university in August. Not one of them has felt the loss of not having my family. Would they have liked to have had the experience of having cousins and things like that? Because we've talked about that. Yeah, sure. They see other families like that. That would have been really nice. At the same time, they don't feel like they missed out on anything because they have grown up knowing that their parents love them, that I love them, their dad loves them. They did have my ex-husband's mother who was amazing. They didn't miss what they didn't have because they didn't know what they didn't have, kind of thing. So if anybody's trying to lay that guilt trip on you, don't worry about it. You're insulating your children from learning that love looks like something ugly. And that's worth everything. Thank you for being here. If there's something you would like me to address, talk about, you have questions, put them in the comments section. And I'll see you soon.